Hello, everyone. Welcome again. Oh, and here we go. I have just an amazing guest today. I have a beautiful young lady. She is Alyssa Couture. She is fashion author and fashion entrepreneur. She is the author of the book, Healthy Fashion, The Deeper Truths. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. She feels fashion is an opportunity to attain health and healing. She claims the existence of fashion can be interpreted and experienced with a deeper purpose. Fashion as an alternative medicine for mind, body, spirit. Her sole motive is to bring fashion into its course as a therapeutic healing tool. And she has a business called Healthy Fashion, which is creating innovative solutions for a healthier kind of fashion. So we are going to have an absolutely fantastic day today. I'm so excited to hear from you. First off, welcome, Alyssa.
Thank you. Thank you, Paula.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
I am just thrilled, excited, and honored. Well, I would love for you, before we talk about the book, share a bit more of your background and kind of what brought you to be the amazing author, entrepreneur, and carer of others that you are.
Yes. So I do have a long and heavy background in fashion. I started way back in high school. As a teenager, I would draw stick figures in a little sketchbook, all these fashion designs. I wanted to be a fashion designer. So then I went to fashion design school at Academy of Art University. And that was a lot of fun. I learned so much about fashion and so much about design aspects of fashion. And I also kind of dabbled into the fine arts. So I was drawing a lot of fashion illustrations in college. It just was something that was so immune for me. It was therapeutic. It just felt like I could process my own, emotions through with the clothes that I was designing. It was a really fun time. And after that, I was in retail management, assistant management, supervising, styling, visual merchandising. I did a whole lot of retail, a lot of fashion. And then I had produced a fashion show, Alternative Fashion 2014. So when I had my eco fashion blog, many years ago, it kind of stirred me into the idea of creating an event. So I created this fashion show, and it was a hit. I mean, 100 people were there. It was fun. But even after that, I was in conjunction with the fashion show, and in the future, I was producing a fashion brand, a small local handmade fashion brand. So I was designing, pattern making all of these clothes, and I was actually bringing them to pop-up shops. And there was Whole Foods was making a chain of events, so I was actually selling some of my product at Whole Foods at their pop-up shops and a couple local boutiques. So that really spurred me into kind of wanting to potentially maybe produce a brand, but I didn't produce a brand. However, I did get into Saks Fifth Avenue Emerging Designer Talent Search Competition. That is the Saks Fifth Avenue Emerging Designer Talent Search Competition in 2015, I believe. And that really gave me some inspiration to actually say, hey, I can do this. I'm actually a designer. They like my stuff. But I really kind of headed toward the direction of not designing because I started doing a lot of traveling. And so I'm like, well, what can I do with fashion while I'm traveling? Well, I can write. I can write about fashion. So I started writing about fashion, and some of my spiritual background, I was living in ashrams and monasteries. I've lived at 4 different ashrams and monasteries, to do yoga and to strengthen my spiritual practice. That also kind of strengthened my identity of what this book was going to be sort of about. It was about bringing the spiritual divinity of fashion into the book, and that's just one aspect of the book, is the spiritual aspect. So I've kind of dabbled into quite a lot of different fashion venues, and it's pretty much at this point I'm mostly working on my fashion campaign, and the campaign is really m- in conjunction with the book Healthy Fashion: The Deeper Truths. This really is bringing some enlightenment and awareness to the public that fashion can be and is a tool of our well-being. And how my whole entire background links to it is because I was always questioning the what if about fashion. I was always questioning the philosophical and theoretical value of how we can bring fashion into a deeper purpose, into a realm that can support us. And so that's sort of really what I'm trying to do with this book is to really showcase fashion as a remedy, as a form of an alternative health remedy. And it doesn't have to be, it can be, it reaches everybody. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to be interested in fashion. It can still reach you, because once we activate the consciousness of fashion and activate the ways fashion contributes to our lives so much, it can help everybody.
This is just so exciting. It is. It's so exciting. And so, what you're sharing with us is how fashion can bring health into our life. And, like the food we eat, that feeds our body. So fashion feeds our body too, right?
Exactly. Yes. And I actually compare the food industry to the fashion industry, because we have a body, and it's topical. It's a topical remedy, and this can actually go into the realm of aspects of treating the fabrics with types of treatments, fabric treatments that can, I don't know, some people are using aloe, aloe vera, and
Mhm.
they're putting that into like micro beads, putting it into the fabric treatments. And that aloe vera is being administered through the pores of the skin and into the body. So this is just one out of hundreds. I will imagine, I'm not making that up. Hundreds of ways that we can use fashion as a treatment. And almost like a spa, like we go to a spa and
Yes.
we, you know, are doing all these topical treatments, we can actually use our fabrics. And there are developments being done now in the industry, but they're kind of using some polyester, which isn't the best base to use. It's not like a great conductor or anything. There's a lot to say about polyester. It's just uh, basically polyester is um, not a neutral pH for the skin. So it doesn't have, it's not the best pH value for the skin to wear. However, I wear, like, I have a coat with polyester. It's okay if you wear it, but it's best to wear your base layers with vegetable-based fabrics like hemp, rami, nettle, bamboo, cotton,
Oh, I
linen,
love that.
tencel, all of those nice plant-based fabrics that we have today.
Because I could see that you could be wearing something that's plant-based, loving and healthy for your body, or something that's really toxic based, and your
Yes.
body's going to pick that up. So, okay, so I want to start wearing more healthy um, clothes and, plant-based. How do we do that? How do we find those?
Well, I am not like one of those people that just, I'm not an elitist. I don't tell everybody to go wear organic fashions from these very small businesses that are catering towards people who are wealthy. I'm sort of interested in the masses. So
Ah,
if I go to Target, say if I go to Target and I find a top made out of cotton, well, I think that's just fine at this point. 90% of all cotton in the industry is genetically modified, give or take 90%, which is a big deal, and it's not the best thing for us. But I would prefer wearing GMO cotton to a polyester garment. Uh, that's just me. But we can go to the online realtors, retailers. We can go to the mass market. I know that not a lot of people want to deal with fast fashion, and that's okay. And I'm not catering to fast fashion markets, but or promoting mass fashion. I mean fast fashion, but because we are a mass society, we have a human population of 7 billion. The mass fashion is not really going to go anywhere. We're always going to need bulk fabrics and apparel in bulk.
Yeah.
So I do say we can find healthy fashion everywhere, specifically if it's made in plant-based fabrics. That's like the kicker, and that's the best
Yes.
for us. And I say this because polyester fabric is non-renewable. It doesn't renew, and it's made out of an oil. And a lot of people say, you know, oil and water doesn't mix, and we're water-based body. So when we put the plants on our body versus oil, the plants are just really supporting the energy of the body, the whole ambiance and environment of the body's condition and state, because we eat plants like you just mentioned. We eat plants, and lots of people are on plant-based diets, and it would be best to wear plants because of what our body needs. We need that connection. We need that spiritual, sacred connection to plants, to the wilderness, to the forest, to the nature. And that's why I believe there's metaphysical aspects of wearing plants, and then there's also scientific aspects, because when you wear cellulose, the cellulose pH is the correct pH balance for putting it on your body topically. But there's so many different plants we're not wearing. Like there's 650 different types of plants were being worn historically in South America. 650. Don't quote me on the exact number, but it's in the 600s. So
Wow.
what we have to do is we have to bring back these plants that they used to make textiles out of, and bring it into this world, because we can never ever dress the entire world in just cotton and linen, because those are two plant-based fabrics that we really just only use. We need to create more technology too, and more textile machinery that caters to these different plants, like pineapple pina fabric. There's just they're all out there. All of the aqua plants like seaweed, we can farm the seaweed and turn that into textiles, and there's been developments of the seaweeds. There's also cactus. I know aloe vera is one cactus that's been, the Saharan aloe vera cactus has been studied and tested for textile use as the cellulose part. And then we can use the inner gel as a treatment to put into the fabric treatments. So I kind of have created this, I haven't created it, but I've processed this idea that we can use the wild weeds, we can use the desert plants, we can use the ocean plants, we can use all these different plants that we're not even taking into consideration, and start producing them more and more, and have more of a variation of plant apparel in the market. And it's being done, like Capic, for instance. Capic is a fluff that's in a pod on a tree, and this fluff is kind of like cotton. It's a nice, soft insulation material for coats. So for a puffed coat, we can put, they're stuffing puffed coats with Capic fiber. And this is an alternative to polyester down, and this is an alternative to goose down. So we really have to like bring in all of these plant-based substitutes in order to make it possible. But we can do it, and I think it is already happening. It's just slow.
Yes. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Wow. And the plants and minerals, all that, it just coordinates with our body and helps our body. And Would you say that healthy fashion can help us emotionally as well?
Absolutely. And one thing I will tell you, and I'm an energy healer, so I might say terms and things that, not everybody gets. But as an energy healer, I've noticed that when we wear our clothes, it acts like a crystal. The cellulose absorbs the emotions, the toxic emotions, any types of emotions. And when they absorb into the fabric, they're not like hitching inside of us internally. So we're constantly releasing this energy and these emotions into our fabrics. That's why it's great in order to kind of put those in the laundry and in order to release the residual energies. Because I don't know about you, but if you walk into a thrift store, you just feel like this heaviness. It's like this incredible heaviness in a thrift store because those clothes aren't laundered. So we are actually using these clothes, yeah, as sort of like a tool to release and then absorb the emotions like a crystal, and then we clear them when we launder them. So this is sort of a natural way that clothing is helping our emotions. But another important way that fashion can help with our emotions is we look at the textures. I know that people are tactile sensitive, and different types of textures on fabrics can help with our emotional bodies. I actually have a whole section in my book that dedicated to fashion for the emotions. So I have different ways and aspects that fashion can help with the emotions. But back to what I was saying about the textures, we have the tactile part, which is wearing clothes textures that actually help us and promote our healing and our well-being and making us feel good. And then there's always colors, the textile dyes. Those are also an incredible conductor for emotional well-being, because I do know that in Egypt they were using the color solar rooms, the solar rooms with different colors, and the Egyptians were healing themselves through color with these colored light rooms, and that colored light is the same frequency as the color frequency inside the dye. So we're getting these colors and We're using them, for our emotional body.
Yes.
I could go on about that, but definitely it's a really important part of fashion, and emotions are a really important part of the healing and the health journey of all of us within our own wardrobes.
And, that makes total sense because I'm like you, I'm an energy girl. And, I've always felt, the crystals, the colors, the energy around me. But I had not thought of the actual clothing I'm wearing. And that makes total sense how that is such a big piece, too, of
Yes.
how we're going to feel. And, oh, this is just so cool.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Well, tell us about what exactly is the healthy fashion campaign? And
So that
is that
yes.
something we can get involved in?
Yes, the Healthy Fashion Campaign on my website, www.hsandhealthyfsandfashion.com. So it's www, excuse me, hfcampaign.com. This campaign is sort of a campaign to raise awareness about fashion, because, right now in we're in the process of eco fashion and sustainable fashion, but I believe that fashion for our health, it sort of trumps it, because trumps all different types of sectors of the fashion market. Because once we feed our body, excuse me, once we bring healthy fashion and use fashion as a tool, it's going to automatically cure the environment. And I say that there's a lot in my book about that. But back to the Healthy Fashion Campaign, I do have printables and worksheets that are for sale. I have a consultant C package that I'm going to be launching, and this is for fashion professionals, people who want to build their wardrobe. So also just fashion enthusiasts or fashion people who are into fashion that want to learn more about having a healthy wardrobe. And I have a blog there, and I have some trend boards and some collages, some fun creative activities that help people get inspired about healthy fashion. But overall, healthy fashion campaign is right now is a blog, and it also services people with consulting, and the worksheets and the book. Oh, of course, the book.
Yeah, that is so cool. Oh, I am just in love with this. I can't wait to share this information all over. And your fantastic book. This is so fantastic. And I'm really grateful that in your fashion work, you do think about the environment as well. Not just
Yes.
our health, but how we can, care for our environment with the fashion and what we make and what we create. That's really a beautiful thing.
Yes, a large portion of the book is about sustainable fashion. It basically, when we try to wear one for one reason, because plant-based is such an important part of healthy fashion. When we go out there and when we sort of cultivate and harvest these plants, and we bring ourselves back into uh, that world, more or less, we're not going to be going back though to like the ages where we have to do things by hand. I'm not talking about more labor, because a lot of people are thinking, well, how is that possible? I mean, that's like so much labor. No, we have to develop the textile machinery in order to cater to the ethics of people, because nobody should be out, uh, doing too much farm work. It has to be possible. And for instance, this one scientist, I forget his name, he took the leaf of the corn, not the actual yellow kernel corn, because there is a fabric made out of the kernels, but I'm talking about the leaf. He took the leaf, but he built a machine that could actually just take the leaf off of the corn. And there was no there's no hand picking, so there is possibilities for us to make it easier for us to go plant-based, because it could be very daunting if we think about going back in time and using the loom. I mean, those are for the traditional arts, using the loom. It's an art form, but it's not something that we really want in the fashion industry and in the textile manufacturing industry, because we really have to make it easy for us, and then that will make it healthy,
Yeah.
healthy to wear, and then healthy for the laborers.
Yes.
I just thought I'd shoot that out there for you.
Oh, I love it. And I'm gonna ask one more time because I'm really excited about this. So when I go shopping for my clothes and I want to find more plant-based clothing, do I just research what things are made of? Can I go online and say plant-based clothing and things will come up that way? What do you
Yeah.
recommend?
I recommend looking at the label and making sure it's not a blend. Like a lot of if you go to a lot of markets, they're gonna have the poly cotton blend. So I would definitely make sure you look at the fiber content. And if you want to wear polyester, that's fine. I'm not like saying you can't wear polyester, because people wear what, if it feels so comfortable on and you just want to wear it, and that's healthy. I mean, I'm not like a stickler about plant-based fabrics. I would definitely type in well, this is a fun one. I don't know if you shop at Nordstrom. Nordstrom is a US retailer, and they're a little bit more higher price, but I basically support every market: mass market, contemporary market, ready to wear. I support all markets. But Nordstrom, you go onto the side profile to use the filter section, and you can actually press a button that says what fiber content you want, and it'll pull up all of the cotton garments. And I use that a lot, like as a for fashion research. But they have tools now, and they should be actually something we should request more of. But when you go into the Nordstrom, I believe it's Nordstrom. I'm pretty much positive. Once you click, say, a pair of pants, you click on pants, then on the left side, there'll be a filter section, and you can, you can type in what color you want. But the best part of it is that you can actually click cotton, linen, or cotton only, linen only, polyester only, and then it will pop up and show you every single 100%
Love
cotton
it.
garment. So that's just one idea that we
Love
can
it.
start using
Thank
that will help
you.
us.
Oh, well, Alyssa, with just a few minutes left in the show, what last message do you want to leave with us today?
Well, Paula, I would like to tell everyone, you guys all have a sacred and beautiful wardrobe as is. You don't need to change it. We could always add when we're ready. But it's fashion is a process, and a fashion is an evolution, and fashion is a way of connection. It's connecting with ourselves on a deeper level. So if you want to learn more about healthy fashion and all of the profound ways that we can choose to wear fashion like that's good for us, you can go to my website, hfcampaign.com, and as well, check out my book too, Healthy Fashion: The Deeper Truths. It's basically a compilation of many, 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 many different ways you can wear fashion for health.
Oh, this is just so fantastic, Alyssa. I just love this. I love this. And oh my gosh, it's just amazing the information and insight you have to share with us. I am really grateful. And
Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you for having me.
oh, and I love that your book is coming out December 1st. And it can pre-order now. It's going to be a perfect Christmas present. I'm excited.
Thank you so much.
Oh gosh. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us today. And I myself am gonna go home and look in my closet and go, okay, what are my happy clothes here? I'm gonna have fun with this. This is, very, very inspiring and exciting. Alyssa, thank you so much, honey, for all you've done and writing this book and creating your fashion campaign. A big,
Oh, thank
big
you. Thank
grateful
you so
thank
much,
you.
Paula. I
Uh,
love your work too, by the way. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you. Thank you. Together we're a team. Positive energy
Yes,
in the world. Yeah,
definitely.
we can all do that together. And thank you to all my audiences. I appreciate your positive, caring energy as well, and joining me and my amazing guests. Everybody have a great day. Love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you.